Hi there, my name is Mason Welsh, and I'd like to inform you why the growth of lacrosse is important for the sport. Here's my lovely audience. They call it the fastest game on 2 feet, a gladiator sport of strength, speed, and endurance. Donned with helmets and sticks, the sport of lacrosse has grown exponentially since it was first founded in 1636. But the great sport of lacrosse became today through its origins. Lacrosse was started by the native Indians of northeastern America. Back then, the field was miles long and games could take days. No equipment was used either, making it extremely dangerous. Today, the game has changed. Protective equipment is worn, and rules have been placed just like any other contact sport. Lacrosse is a physical game full of strategy, where technique and athleticism can help players thrive, producing highlight goals and booming hits. So what's not to like about it? The MLB, NFL, and NBA generate billions in revenue, so why doesn't the Major League Lacrosse? Luckily, change is coming. Lacrosse is now the fastest growing sport in America. The growth of the game is important for the sport through the changes in society and present structure may be even better for it. When one decides they want to play lacrosse, one must buy the equipment necessary to play. Gloves, helmet, shoulder pads, arm pads, you need a ball and a net. This can be pretty expensive. It adds up. This excludes some people who have certain socioeconomic backgrounds, thus excluding opportunities for some to play. For most sports that only require shoes or cleats, this isn't an issue. For most sports, in high school, most equipment is funded by the school. For example, football is a nationally school-sponsored sport. The school covers the helmet and pads, which are easily the most expensive items. A good football helmet with the highest concussion prevention can cost easily over $500, and along with the football pads, it's another couple $100. It all adds up. Lacrosse pads would be much cheaper. The issue is the game big enough for most high schools to purchase enough equipment for an entire team? From personal experience, the private schools around St. Louis that were school sponsored always had a much bigger bench than our team because we were known as a club. The club teams, they lack the funds that the private schools have, thus making it harder for more people to play. For some, sports can be an escape, an out, if you will, to escape poor neighborhoods and lifestyles. You see it every day on SportsCenter. Young athletes have become millionaires due to their God-given athletic ability and hard work. For an aspiring lacrosse player, the ends just don't justify the means. First off, most Division I programs only have a handful of athletic scholarships, which are reserved for the top recruits in the country, of course. Many players only receive partial scholarships or must rely on academic scholarships in order to play. According to scholarshipstats.com, on average only 12.6 athletic scholarships are given. With a roster of about 45 players, there's just not enough money to spread around. Craig Carden, my former teammate and standout defender, played Division I lacrosse at Mercer University in Macon, Georgia. Craig was all conference and was a star player in the state of Missouri. Craig told me, "It's a lot of work and not an easy process in college. I didn't earn a full scholarship. I got the presidential scholarship through my academics. Without scholarships to give, some players just can't continue to play. Division I football, on the other hand, receives 85 scholarships per season. To make scholarship chances even slimmer, only about 70 schools offer Division I lacrosse. Multiply that by the 12 scholarships per team, and with hundreds of thousands of kids out there playing, chances of getting a scholarship become pretty slim. Now, the players that are good enough to go Division I and good enough to play professionally, then the problems really begin. They'll need the free education they earned in college in order just to survive. Pro lacrosse players earn only about $10,000 to $20,000 per season. Pro football players easily make that in just one game. So for an athlete looking to financially support themselves and their family, an athlete judging lacrosse or perhaps football would choose football because of the financial outcome it can bring. Most pro lacrosse players have other jobs as well because financially they just can't support themselves. So being an athlete becomes a side job. So games are passed down from generation to generation. If your parents played a sport in high school or college, most likely they'll introduce the sport to their children. For lacrosse, this is only a matter of time. Last year, U.S. Lacrosse released its annual participation report, recording youth lacrosse having a 3.5% growth in 2014. This trend isn't new. The sport continues to expand every year, continuing growth to become the fastest sport in America. Will become exponentially bigger each generation. For most of our parents' generation that didn't live on the East Coast, lacrosse wasn't even an option at school. My dad attended a private school, DeSmet Jesuit, which has one of the best programs in the state of Missouri. When my dad went to school there, it wasn't even offered. He didn't even know what the sport was. The sport just needs time. As more and more people begin playing, it will be passed down by my generation and the generation after me, just exponentially making it larger. I have faith in the game. Through my own experiences, I've learned how exciting the game of lacrosse is. I see no reason why the game can't grow and to be a respected sport worldwide. I'm constantly being told by people that they wish that they played back in the day. Its continual increase in popularity can only help with the growth. And once schools begin to subsidize equipment costs, the best athletes from all around, all different backgrounds will all be able to play. It's a chain reaction. As more kids begin to play, more scholarships will open up and more teams will add Division I programs. Thus, professional lacrosse will get more popular and will earn enough revenue to pay those athletes what they deserve. Thank you. Is there any questions?
Yeah. So how did lacrosse get its name?
So lacrosse got its name through the head here. The head is actually technically called a cross, not just the head. Anyone else?
Yeah, can you tell us what those strings are on the head or cross?
Yeah, so on the cross, the strings here actually can help give it certain whip and certain shooting capabilities depending on how you string it. Pretty interesting. Anything else?
What's the MLL?
MLL stands for Major League Lacrosse.